a tough booker last week. Nice work.
Thanks.
Good morning, Mrs. Irvin.
Hello.
Is there something wrong? You look a little upset.
No, Bill. I'm not mad, really. I wish it was nothing. But it seems everything is getting worse with him all the time.
Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yes, sir. Beverly Hills Hotel. Yes, we danced there once. It was wonderful. And then we walked here. Right under these same palm trees. Nothing has changed. Everything's the same.
North Genesee. You know where it is?
Yes, sir. Of course I know where it is. Funny. We used to live right next door. 3 years ago. It was our first home in Hollywood. Peter worked so hard. Day and night he worked on his novel. Everything stopped. His work, his courage, his ambition.
2707 Hillside Drive.
Yes, sir, that's me, Janet Urban. I'm driving a taxi, trying to make a living. For what? Yes. That's what I'd like to know. For what?
I won't be long. Wait for me, will you?
Yes, sir.
Nice view, isn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's quite all right. I'm in no hurry. Hope I didn't disturb any thoughts.
I was trying not to think.
Did you succeed?
No.
What were you trying not to think about?
Oh, nothing. Nothing important. Are you ready to go now?
No, not yet. I'd like to look at the view.
Well, haven't you ever been up here before?
No.
Why, are you a stranger?
In a way.
Well, you're like Los Angeles. We aren't very high here, but from Lookout Mountain you can see for miles.
They even tell me you can see Catalina Island on a clear day.
How long did you say you've been in Los Angeles?
10 years, but I always travel the same path like a streetcar conductor or a milkman.
Well, you must be a very busy man.
I'm a doctor. Tell me, what made you choose this job?
Well, because it pays well. Beautiful, isn't it?
Do you like music?
I love it.
Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Well, what is it?
Brahms first?
You guessed the right composer, but the wrong number. That's his second.
His second is nice, too, but really that's his first.
Oh, no, you're wrong. That's his second. Listen. There, see?
Yes.
It's really nice to find someone who admits they're wrong.
Oh, but I didn't admit I was wrong. You see, the cab company has a list of rules. They're all nicely printed on a little card. Rule number 4 urges drivers to refrain from fights, brawls, violent language, and arguments with their passengers.
All right, no fights, no arguments. Come on, let's go. Here you are.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. If my car hadn't broken down, I wouldn't have had such a pleasant afternoon. Hello.
this in your cab. Is it yours?
Oh, why, yes. Thanks a lot. I wouldn't lose this for the world. It's my lucky charm. An old locket I picked up in Florence when I was a medical student.
Well, I'm glad I found it then.
Well, now that you're here, won't you let me show you the difference between Brahms first and Brahms second?
But I know the difference.
I'm afraid you're wrong, eh?
No, not at all.
Well, come in then. Come on, I'll prove it to you.
All right.
There, see? Brahms first.
Mm-hmm.
Now perhaps you'll be convinced. I'll be darned, you're right.
I know. His first happens to be my favorite.
Excuse me. Hello? Speaking. Boston? All right, put him through. Hello, Monica. How are you? Gosh, it's good to hear your voice. Fine. Do I miss you? Why, I'm absolutely lost without you. What you mean coming home? I sent you away for a rest, and a rest you're going to have. No, I'm putting off the lecture till you get back. I want you to hear it. Yes, I will. Okay, Monica. Goodbye. I'm sorry, that was my...
What can I do for you?
I'd like to swap it.
Let me see. Peter Urban. All right, pick yourself something.
I want a gun.
Gun? Well, get me that black box on the shelf there, huh? All right, pick yourself one out. Go on.
Can I have this one?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. Just a minute. I gotta take down the numbers, you see. It's the law. You got any identification papers?
Yes.
Let me see. Peter Urban, 8298 Laurel Canyon.
Peter,
Yes.
why are you still up? What time is it?
It's after 4.
Please close the door, dear.
Sorry.
Try to get some sleep.
Yes, I will.
Good night, Peter.
Good night. Good night. Bernie. Go home. They're missing you.
Peter, what are you doing in here?
Go back, Janet.
No, I won't.
Please.
Give me that.
Janet. Please. Janet. Janet.
Oh, Peter, how could you even think of such a thing?
Because there was nothing else to do. Nothing. No.
You wrote more books by the time you were 30 than most authors publish in a lifetime. You've got to remember those things, darling, until you get started again.
You don't understand. You have never been a foreigner. You have never walked through strange cities looking for something. Just anything that will bring up a friendly memory.
No, Peter. But I will be. When it's all over, I'll be the foreigner, wandering through your cities, needing your help.
My cities. They'll be blown up. Level to the ground. Finished just as I'm finished.
But cities can be built again, and so can lives. It only takes courage. Courage in just staying alive. Look, Peter, it'll soon be dawn. The darkness is going away. It always does. Come on. I'm going now, Peter. I'm late. Promise me you'll sleep. Here, I'll leave you my cigarettes.
Then you won't have any.
I'll get some at the corner.
Thanks.
Tell me, where did you get that gun?
Oh, I traded my cigarette case for it.
But where?
Oh, does it matter? Done in a swap shop on Santa Monica Boulevard.
But your cigarette case, it meant so much to you.
Please, Janet, stop this questioning.
All right.
And don't play the injured wife. I hate it.
I know. And it seems you're beginning to hate me, too.
I might have known you would say that. Well, I suppose you don't hate me at all. No. No, you love me. Yes, of course, that's it. You love me devotedly. You couldn't bear to part with me, could you?
Why else do I stay with you?
I'll tell you why you stay. Because I'm the only creature on earth miserable enough to give you that feeling of superiority. And how you love it.
But you don't understand, Peter. I know how bitter you must feel. And how difficult it is for you to begin everything all over again. But there's only one thing to do. You have to give up that silly pride of yours and...
Now it comes. Why don't I go to work? Well, say it again.
I never asked you to do anything you didn't want to. That's why I took a job.
You've been supporting me for nearly 2 years.
But I did it gladly because I wanted to help you. Sometimes I wonder if you can be helped at all.
Oh, Janet!
Hello, Hugo.
Good morning, Janet. I'm lucky I got you today. I hate to walk to the bus. Today is my 5th day in the studio. A wonderful job. Not much to do, nothing to learn. I said goodbye to my ambitions. I make my living.
I wish Peter had your optimism, but...
But what?
Last night in the garage, he tried to kill himself. I've never seen him quite so bad before. It frightens me. I never know anymore when I come home whether or not he...
I don't know what to tell you. It's difficult to be nobody. Back home, he was a great man.
But you've been through the same thing.
Well, yes. But Peter is a sick man. I mean, sick in his heart. You still love him, don't you?
Yes, of course I still love him.
Come, Janet. This is a celebration. Tonight we are happy, all three of us happy at the same time. It's not very often, you know. Come on.
No, Peter, honestly.
Why not?
Because I have to get up early and go to work in the morning.
I see. And I don't have to, do I?
But that isn't what I meant, darling.
Doesn't matter if you meant it or not.
Where are you going?
To get some cigarettes.
I have cigarettes.
My case. How did you get it?
It took almost 2 weeks. Yesterday I found it.
Oh, sweet girl. She gets something into her mind, and she goes through with it.
What's this all about?
Oh, nothing.
How much did it cost you to get it back?
That doesn't matter.
Matters a great deal to me. Someday I'm going to pay you back. And I hope very soon.
Oh, what kind of talk is this? Yesterday you didn't have your case, today you have it. So why are you angry?
Why do you think she gave me the case tonight? Why not yesterday? Because she wanted to humiliate me in front of you.
That isn't true.
I know your sense of timing. You know the exact moment when it hurts most.
I think we'd better leave.
Well, I'm not holding you back. Waiter, bring me brandy.
Peter, please don't drink anymore.
You had enough.
You heard what I said?
Yes.
Fine. I'll drink as much as I please.
One brandy.
Or is it the money you're worrying about? Your money, huh?
You don't have to shout at me.
You don't like it? Why don't you go?
You're drunk again.
Oh, let her go. Wait a minute. Please.
I'm Dr. Brent, remember?
Yes, I remember.
May I drive you home?
Thanks. I'm not going home.
Well, may I drive you wherever you are going?
That's awfully kind of you, but
Oh, I couldn't let you go alone. You're much too upset.
I don't really know where I want to go.
Well, let's just drive. You must love him very much to stand for all that.
I wish they'd stop playing that tune.
Why, don't you like it?
I think it's what brought on the cloudburst.
Why did you marry him?
Because I loved him. But he was so different then. He was so full of hope and confidence about the future. But he wasn't able to succeed here. And he couldn't go back. I guess he began to die. Little by little. Sometimes I can't help feeling it's my fault.
Your fault if he continually threatens to commit suicide?
Yes. Because I thought that if I'd work, I could give him the little things one needs. He needed more than just a roof over his head and a full stomach. He needed something I was unable to give him. His self-confidence.
It must be terrible to be uprooted as he is. I don't know how, but I'd so much like to help him.
Oh, he'd never accept help from anyone.
Tell me, why did you leave so suddenly the other day?
I felt your wife was calling long distance.
My
and...
wife?
Well, I thought it was your wife. It was someone you called Monica.
Oh, Monica. She's my assistant, Dr. Anderson. But really, I'm surprised at myself if I spoke to her in such a way that made you think she was my wife.
I'm sorry if I said something I shouldn't.
But no, Monica's my friend. very brilliant woman, by the way. Intelligent, clear-minded, but not at all emotional. That's what makes her such a good collaborator.
I wish I could be like that.
You mean brilliant?
No, unemotional. It would make things so much easier for me.
What, for instance?
Oh, I don't know. Somehow I think it would make me feel free. Free to do the things I'd like.
And what would that be?
To live. Just to live.
I had your car fixed, and there's a new chair in your office. I hope you like it.
There you are, sir. Where do you want me to put the trunk?
Oh, just wait a minute. Monica, where should he put the trunk?
Any place.
Leave it right there. How much is that?
That will be $3.75, sir.
Okay, keep the change.
Thank you, sir.
Monica, how was it, strolling through the woods all by yourself?
Pine woods are all right, but I miss the smell of ether.
Where's the key?
I'll let it go till later.
David, you've changed.
Huh?
You look 10 years younger.
Thanks.
My vacation seems to have done you a lot of good.
It did.
Yeah?
I discovered something while you were gone.
You know what?
I'm in love.
David, that's wonderful. How did it happen?
I'm kind of surprised myself. I guess it sort of sneaked up on me. There are complications, however.
What are they?
She's married.
Yeah. That's a complication, all right.
I want you to meet her. I'd like you two to be friends.
I'd like that. David, fix yourself a drink. You know where everything is. Well, aren't you going to tell me about it? What's she like? How'd you meet her?
Well, believe it or not, I was waiting for a taxi.
Yeah? Who picked up whom?
But seriously, Monica, for the first time in my life, I really loved something. I guess it happened when I saw her in trouble.
Peter, what are you doing?
Oh, it's you.
What are you doing? Turning everything upside down like this.
Same thing people usually do when they turn things upside down. Conducting a search, my friend. Dear Francis, that's the sister in New York. Now listen to this. I've hung on to these last 2 years, hoping it would work out, but you won't let it. And now something has happened that has changed my whole life. I'm so sure of it. Well, that's all. She never finished. I probably interrupted her. I wonder what changed her whole life. Or rather, who changed her whole life?
What do you mean, who?
Don't be stupid, Hugo. If a young, attractive woman suddenly finds her whole life has changed, it's usually a man who has changed it.
Oh, you're crazy. I would be happy to have a girl like Jenny.
Look at this.
What is it?
Found it in one of our purses.
Joe's Diner.
Well, open it. There's something scribbled inside.
CL92095. What's that? The phone number, car license?
That happens to be a number on a phonograph record. And here it is. I just bought it.
Tell me, does she know that you...
Of course not. Very sweet and sentimental. But tell me, Hugo, don't you think it's just a little, common?
I think you're just a little crazy.
That you won't know before the third act. But I can promise you, it's going to turn out different than she thinks. She still wants to get rid of me. This time, she shall have to do the shooting. What can that be? Yes, hello? This is Peter Urban speaking. Yes? Yes, of course. I shall be there right away. Thank you very much. What is it? Do you know they just called about that research job that I applied for some time ago? They want me to start working right away. Isn't that wonderful?
Peter, that's wonderful. I'm happy.
Well, of course it isn't for writing. It's only for translation. But there's something I can do. Oh, this is the chance I've been hoping for.
What we really want is a general sense of the story. Perhaps 50 pages. In any case, no more than 75. The dean wants you to take your own time. He must think very highly of you.
It's very considered. I don't even know him.
But it seems the gentleman who recommended you gave you a wonderful build-up.
Gentleman recommended me? Who recommended me?
Oh, I don't know his name.
So, I wasn't offered the position because of my past reputation.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I didn't know. The dean said...
Never mind. I'm a writer, madame. If those shells hold the best of modern European literature, as you said, some of my work should be among them.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Urban.
Don't be sorry, madame. I think I understand.
But I'm sure there's been some mistake.
Graver than you think, and a very stupid mistake at that. Hello, Jeanette. Oh, you look lovely. Where's your car?
Over there.
Oh, yes. Such a beautiful day, I thought I would come down and pick you up and take you for a ride. Come on. It's been a long time since we drove together, hasn't it? You seem a little nervous, my dear. I noticed you were surprised to see me, but I didn't think it would upset you that much. I haven't interfered with your plans, have I?
No.
You used to like to drive out to the beach, remember? In New York, we always drove out there, you, Francis, and I. We haven't heard from her for a long time. You written her lately?
No, I haven't. Don't drive so fast, please.
Don't you trust me? I trust you. I trust you with my very life. You trust me with your life, too. Wouldn't you?
Where are we going?
Just somewhere where you'll be alone. You know, I've been thinking. Here we are at the end of a continent. But the other shores seem closer to me than you are at this moment. I know I've lost you. Something has come between us. What?
I don't know what you're talking about. What do you want?
You. No matter how.
have you done?
Died.
So suddenly.
Isn't death always sudden? It's only the preliminaries that takes time. But the final moment, it's only an instant. In that instant, something which seems free. Something which thought it could fly. Anywhere. Do anything it wished. That free and beautiful thing died. Come. Shall we go?
I forgot to pull my sheet.
Is it really that important?
I'll be right back.
I can't give you an appointment with Dr. Brent for at least 3 weeks. Yes, I'll call you. Goodbye. May I help you?
I'd like to see Dr. Brent, please.
Dr. Brent flew to San Francisco this morning for a consultation.
Well, when do you expect him back?
It's indefinite. Would you like to leave your telephone number?
No, thank you.
I can't tell you how grateful I am. Goodbye, Dr. Anderson. Goodbye. Would you like to leave a message?
Just tell him Mrs. Urban was here. Mrs. Urban. I'm Dr. Anderson. I'm Monica, David's assistant. Oh, I wondered, won't you come in? Sit down, please. Thank you. I'm so glad to meet you finally, Mrs. Urban. I'm happy to meet you. Do you think Dr. Brent will be back tonight? No, I don't think so. I'm expecting him to phone me. He's going to be awfully disappointed to have missed you. I don't want to trouble you, but you're not. Won't you sit down? You look tired. I hardly slept last night. Why? You nervous? Yes, I have been rather nervous. David's told me about you. Has he? Tell me, have you had your lunch yet? No. Well, then let's have it together. I'd like to. I was afraid you might consider me an intruder. An intruder? Why? Well, you know. I've only known David such a short time, and, well, you've known him for years. Do you love him? Oh, here, I have it. do you carry a gun?
Why? Well, you see, I need it in my job.
Do you drive at night?
No, but
Janet, tell me why you carry a gun.
because I'm afraid
What of?
of him.
Does he know about David?
I wish I knew. I've been entertaining Janet with a lecture on child psychology, but I caught her yawning a couple of times. You did not. It was very interesting. I'd like to read your book. I didn't know Monica wrote.
Why, Monica's book is a milestone of medical science.
Mm-hmm. And very dull, too. Would you write something in it for me? Oh, yes, if you'd like.
Janet.
I'm so glad you're back, David. I can't stay, but I have something to tell you.
What is it? Oh, I realize what you've been through.
A publisher's interested in Peter's book. It'd be so wonderful if they accepted it.
Yes. Yes, it would be. Janet.
I must go now, David. I don't want him to become suspicious.
Yeah, let me help you. I think it's still drizzling outside.
Thank you.
Well, here you are. Oh, that's sweet of you, Monica.
I'll drive you home, Janet.
No, please, I'd rather not. I'll take the bus to the corner.
Well, I'll walk down with you.
All right. Good night, Monica.
Good night, Janet.
I'll be right back.
It stopped raining.
I love walking in the rain. Do you know this is the first time we've walked together?
I missed the snow at Christmas. Back east, I always went skiing at this time.
Well, there'll be plenty of snow at home now. Isn't it wonderful when you see that great white slope in front of you and then just go shooting down into the valley? You're very quiet.
I have a strange feeling of foreboding.
Let me give you this.
But that's your lucky charm. Do you still believe it?
Of course I do. Don't you?
Well, isn't this a picture of perfect bliss and harmony? A Christmas tree with lovely snow. Tony, of course.
Oh, I like Christmas. It brings back all the memories. I remember back home in Prague. snow, bells at midnight.
Oh, a fool, Hugo.
Maybe, but I'm happy. Aren't you? Well, you have all reasons. Your book will be published. Now you'll have money again. Hold it.
Oh, yes, I have everything. A loving wife, good friends, and money. Yes, Janet and I are leaving for Mexico.
What?
I'm not going with you, Peter. You don't need me anymore. It'll be best for both of us if we part.
Don't use those dramatic terms. Of course you would come with me.
And if I refuse?
You wouldn't dare.
You can't force me to go with you.
I wouldn't be so sure.
I'm not afraid of you anymore. I should have left you a long time ago. But I stayed with you out of sheer pity.
But Peter!
Don't touch me or I'll...
Or you will do what? If you ever leave me, I'll find you. And he will be the one to pay.
You wouldn't dare.
Oh, wouldn't I? Has it ever occurred to you that if I could get a gun once, I can get it again? Of course, this time I wouldn't use it on myself. Well, why don't you go?
Oh, leave her alone.
Oh, don't fall for that stuff.
You seem exceptionally happy today, David.
At last, there's hope.
Hope for what?
Janet's divorce.
Divorce?
Yes, his book's been accepted and now he's no longer dependent on her. Janet feels free. What do you think of Dr. Kruger?
I think he's a fine surgeon.
You like him, don't you?
Yes, why?
I'm glad you feel that way about him because he's taking over my practice.
David, do you mean to say you're quitting?
You know I've always wanted to give up practicing and go in for research. Now I can go to Johns Hopkins. They've always wanted me. And Kruger will be delighted to have you as his assistant.
All those years we worked together, they don't mean a thing.
They mean a great deal to me. But don't you understand? Then I can take Janet away.
Oh, don't be a fool, David. We built up a wonderful practice together. Now you want to throw it away. After all that work, your reputation.
There are things more important than work and reputation. But it's going to be awful hard to...
Please, David, don't say any more. I think I understand. Why didn't you call me last night? I couldn't. Peter was home. He insisted I go to Mexico with him. Oh, what did you decide? I know what I have to do. He's still home drinking. Oh, Janet, if I were you, My purse, it's gone. Your purse? I must have left it on one of the counters. The glove counter? Do you remember if I still had it then? No, I don't. Well, where else have we been? Oh, everywhere. Gloves, lingerie, perfume. Well, I'd better go to the lost and found department first. Would you mind looking around in the meantime? Oh, of course. Where shall we meet? Right here. long? I couldn't find it. I looked in practically every department. I didn't have any luck either. I picked up David's present for you in the meantime. Thank you. You know, Monica, this is my first gift to David, and I can't give it to him. Would you do it for me? You know what to say. Yes, I think I do. Janet, was that thing still in your purse? Main floor. Not bad. For champagne?
Not bad. It's Verve Clico 37. Last 2 bottles I had left.
Skål.
Skål.
I guess we never dreamed that the grapes we watched them pressing in France would come to this.
That was a wonderful summer, Monica. I'll never forget it.
Do you remember your first lecture at the Sorbonne?
We celebrated at Prunier's afterwards and drank a lot of the same brand.
And you got a little high.
High? I was tight.
Later we went to the Bois de Boulogne, sat at the edge of the lake. I can still see the dark silhouette of the swan. And you told me all the things you were going to do. Then you smoked a French cigarette. Didn't like it. Threw it away. Made a long, fiery arc.
Monica, you've an amazing memory.
For some things.
Well, I better answer it. Hello? Why, Janet, what is it? What? I'll be right over.
David, what is it? What's happened?
He's committed suicide.
Oh.
A couple of angle shots is enough, Jack. Yes, sir.
I think this will do. Hold this for me, Jack, will you?
Okay, Inspector?
All right, Jack.
Well, Doc, what do you say? Is it all right to take him away?
Sure, go ahead.
You make out the report for the coroner?
I will. Looks like suicide, all right.
Well, so long, Doc.
Well.
Tom, tell the boys to take him away.
Yes, sir.
Now, you say your husband tried this once before. When was that?
About 5 months ago.
She caught him in time.
You a friend of his?
Yes, his best friend.
What kind of a fellow was he?
He was a great man once. He had a wonderful country. He lost it. He had a great fortune. It was taken away from him. He had parents. They were tortured to death. So he came here. He tried to use tools which were not fit to his measure. His poor heart grew bitter. There you see him now. A failure.
Well, I don't think there's anything more to do. I know it's tough, Mrs. Evans, and I'm sorry. Good night.
Good night. David, I think you'd better wait here. I'll get Janet.
I guess you're right.
I'm terribly sorry. When did it happen? I don't know. I came home and found him over there. I've come to take you home with me. You can't stay here. Come on now. Just pack a few things. David's waiting outside. you want me to help you?
No, thank you.
Must have been a terrible shock for you and Janet.
I don't know about Janet, but... How long have you known her?
A few months.
Did she tell you everything?
What do you mean?
Oh, that her marriage was not a happy one.
Yes, she told me that. He was a drunkard, wasn't he?
He drank because he was unhappy.
When did you see him last?
Late this afternoon.
Was he drinking then?
He finished his whole bottle and then... Dr. Anderson.
Yes?
When I left Peter this afternoon, he was sound asleep. He was so drunk he couldn't even move. He would have slept right through until tomorrow morning.
What are you driving at?
I don't believe it was suicide.
Do you realize what you're saying?
Yes. He didn't do it.
Then how do you think he died?
He was murdered.
By whom? Ready, Janet? Yes. Good night, Mr. Kral.
Right.
Good night, Hugo.
Good night.
I'll be going now. Good night.
Good night, David. David, I lost the locket you gave me. It was in the purse.
That's all right. I'll get you another one.
David, I can't think anymore. What'll happen to us?
Nothing will happen. Thank you, Monica. Here, take this. It'll help you to sleep.
Oh, if I only could. I keep seeing his face. I'm frightened.
You'll be asleep in half an hour.
I'm so lucky to have the Monica.
Hello, Dr. Anderson.
Mr. Kral, I would never in the world have known you.
Sit down, please.
That's a very realistic makeup you have.
Oh, I wouldn't say.
What's the name of your picture? I'd like to come see you.
You won't see very much of me.
What's your part?
Part? I haven't got a part. I just work by the day.
Mr. Kral, it must seem strange to you that I phoned, but I wanted to talk to you. It's urgent.
Yes?
Frankly, I'm worried. You hinted at something the other day that might be very serious. Have you any proof?
No, Dr. Anderson. I have no proof. I mean in the legal sense.
Do you suspect her?
Yes.
You mean to say that Janet...
Killed Peter.
I was afraid of that. That's why I came here, to warn you.
To warn me?
Mr. Kral, if you accuse her openly, I'll be her witness. That purse, where she kept the gun, was stolen from the Hollywood department store.
When?
The afternoon he died. And I was there when the theft took place.
Oh, I see. I'm really glad you came.
Thank you. You see, if the police had ever found out your suspicion, Janet would be in a very dangerous situation. Of course, I could always prove she lost her purse.
Maybe they'll find it.
Maybe. But I think she looked everywhere while I was waiting.
Weren't you together all the time?
Well, it was only a little while.
For how long?
Well, I told you just a little while. Maybe 20 minutes.
Time enough.
Hey, Kral, you're in the first shot.
Coming, Mr. Colbert. Okay. I'm very sorry, Dr. Anderson, but I have to go.
But, Mr. Kral...
Goodbye, Dr. Anderson.
Goodbye, Mr. Kral. It was darn swell of you to come.
Now, you listen to me, Bert. We're ready to bail her out for any sum. You say how much? Oh, no, Bert. Don't be unreasonable. You've got to tell me why you're holding her. Uh-huh. Yes. Oh, I see. Well, thanks, Bert. Goodbye.
What is it?
She can't be bailed out, David.
Why?
The charge against her is first-degree murder.
Murder? But that's absurd, Melvyn. She could never have done it. I must see her. I must talk to her.
I don't think you should.
Why not?
Because you might be suspected of collusion. Now, you've got to think of yourself, of your good name, your reputation.
Forget it. She means more to me than anything else. They finally let me see you.
Oh, I've missed you so terribly. I was afraid I'd never see you again.
Darling, you mustn't talk like that. Nothing will happen.
Everything's against me.
They can't convict you.
You know, David, sometimes I think this is the penalty I have to pay.
I wanted to make you so happy.
Oh, but you have, darling. I've been happy every minute since I've known you. You remember the little diner? I've gone there often, all by myself. And I always sit at the same little table by the window. But I've never really been alone, darling. Because you're always with me. And you always will be.
Yes, always. I came here tonight to ask you to marry me. And then no matter what they decide tomorrow, you'll be my wife.
I'm not afraid of tomorrow anymore, darling. Even if they sentence me to death.
Janet Irvin, the court finds you guilty of murder in the first degree. The court hereby sentences you to 20 years penal term.
Hello? Hello, give me the city desk. Mac? This is Bill. Now switch the headlines. The Urban case.
20 years? Why, that's a lifetime.
David, I know that at a time like this, it's just about impossible to find the right words. there is only one thing that'll help you. That's work.
Work? For what? For whom?
I know how you feel, but you can't give up your work. You can't just throw away what it's taken us years to build up.
I can't do anything else. From now on, I've only one goal, to fight that verdict. To fight for my wife.
Your wife?
Yes, I married Janet last night.
Why did you do such a thing?
David! David!
Yes?
The man we met just now, you know, is a client of mine, Senator O'Neill. Well, he's just cited a similar case, and he's advised...
Monica!
Will you get us a glass of water, please? Yes, sir. Is there anything I can do to help?
Get the car, Melvyn. We'll take her right home.
Here's the water, sir.
Thanks. Put it down there, will you?
Can I help the lady?
No, thanks. She'll be quite all right. Thank you very much.
Better?
I think I'm all right now. You know, it's funny. I never fainted before. How long was I unconscious?
Just a few minutes.
Melvyn, if I want to get in touch with you later, where will you be?
I'll be at the club. Anything important?
Yes, I think so.
Can't you tell me now?
No, I'll call you later.
I'm fine now, baby. You don't have to stay, really.
Well, that's quite all right.
Don't you think it's chilly here? Shall I light the fire?
If you want.
You haven't eaten all day. Would you like a sandwich or something?
Thanks, I'm not hungry.
I couldn't eat either.
Do you really believe she killed him?
David, it's so difficult to talk about this. Why do you ask? The evidence was all against her.
I want to know if you really believe she did it.
I'm afraid I do, David.
No, Monica, you don't. That locket you're wearing around your neck, why didn't you destroy it? Why didn't you destroy it?
Oh, no. I couldn't. I never could destroy anything that belonged to you. I kept so many things you thought you'd lost. A book, a pencil, even that cigarette holder. I lived with these little things around me. Things that were part of you. I even remember the first day I ever went to your office. 7 years ago, the 25th of March. It didn't take me long to fall in love with you, but I knew if you ever found out, you wouldn't even let me stay. So I never showed it. I kept it hidden, like a secret, hidden from everybody, even you. And it grew and it grew in the darkness until... I can't explain. It became more precious to me than anything you could ever imagine. Oh, I wasn't unhappy all those years. I thought the work we were doing was the most important thing in the world. You were close to me every day. And then she came. And you said to me one day you'd quit. You'd give up your work here. I knew that was the end for me. She was taking my life from me. So I took hers. You're going to be happy, David. You and Janet. You mustn't waste 1 minute of it hating me. But you have a measure of my love for you in this, David. Of the 2 women who wanted you, I loved you enough to kill. And I still love you enough to do it again. That's about all the love a woman can have, David. Here. Take it.
What strangers we are, Monica. And I thought I knew you better than anyone in the world.
David, do something for me, please. Call Russell. I want to talk to him before you do. Please.
Mr. Russell there. This is Dr. Brent speaking. Yes, he said he'd be in. Would you have him paged?
Go now, please.
Good night, Monica.
Goodbye, David.
Hello?
Hello, Russell. This is Monica.